Hi everyone, welcome to our new video on 5G frequency band. In this video, we will discuss about the frequency bands specified by 3GPP for the 5G applications. So let's start. So here in this slide, we can see the frequency range defined by 3GPP for 5G. So very first time the 5G standard was defined in release 15, and there they defined two frequency range which can be utilized for 5G NR services, and this frequency range are basically FR1 and FR2. So FR1 are the lower frequency range, or we can say in the lower bands, and their frequency range defined from 410 to 7125 MHz. Whereas the FR2 frequencies are in the higher bands. These higher bands are also known as millimeter waves bands, and their frequency range is starting from 24 GHz to 52 GHz. At the bottom of this like the frequency scale, we can see some cell sizes with the different colors. When we see the yellow ones, so the yellow ones are the larger cell size, so which indicate the FR1 frequencies belongs to lower bands will give larger cell size, and 5G services within this frequency range can be utilized for the coverage. And as we go with the higher frequencies, the cell size shrink. So if we see the green color, so green color basically represents the millimeter waves, and in the millimeter waves the cell size becomes very small. But the benefit with the millimeter waves is we have larger bandwidth, and with the larger bandwidth we can get the large capacity. So as we go in the higher in the frequencies, we can get a larger capacity, and if we go on the lower bands, there the bandwidth will be less, so those bands can be basically utilized for the coverage requirements. Let's go into the deeper detail of frequency ranges. As per 3GPP, there are two frequency ranges defined for the 5G. The one is frequency range 1, which is also known as FR1, and second is frequency range 2, which is also known as FR2. The FR1 range start from 410 to 7125 MHz. This is also known as sub 8 GHz range, and it is suitable for continuous coverage, high mobility and reliability, because these are the lower frequencies and which has lesser attenuation and the path loss. The maximum available bandwidth within FR1 is 100 MHz. As we know, the 5G support different subcarrier spacing, and within FR1 we can use 15 kHz, 30 kHz and 60 kHz subcarrier spacing. The bands available within frequency range 1 can support FDD, TDD, supplement downlink and supplement uplink duplex mode, which means they are capable to support all duplex modes. When we come to frequency range 2, So their range start from 24 to 50 megahertz to 50 to 600 megahertz. This frequency range also known as millimeter waves because their wavelength is into the millimeter orders. The FR2 is suitable for high capacity and higher throughput. The maximum available bandwidth within FR2 is 400 megahertz, which is like 4 times larger than the FR1. The FR2 support subcarrier spacing starting from 60 kHz to 240 kHz, and FR2 only support TDD duplex mode. They cannot support FDD and other duplex mode. They are only available for the TDD duplex mode. In previous slide, we discussed something about the duplex mode. So to get more information on the duplex mode, we first need to understand the link directions. So here we can see we have a base station, say GNB, and we have a mobile device. We say this is a UE. The signal transmitted from the base station towards the UE are known as downlink. And the signals which are transmitted from UE to base station are known as uplink. So keeping this in mind, in further slide we'll discuss about the different duplexing used in the 5G. In previous slides we discussed that FR1 frequency range can work with different duplex modes, and some of this duplex mode we'll be discussing in this slide. So let's start with the FDD duplex mode. So FDD means frequency division duplexing. So in FDD, what we have from this picture, we can see there are some downlink transmissions and there are some uplink transmissions. The downlink transmission, which is noted by DL, and they are happening on the F1 frequency, and the uplink transmission which happens on F2 frequency. So it means in FDD duplex mode we will be getting two frequencies which can be used for downlink and uplink at the same time. Further going to the TDD, TDD is time division duplexing, which means we'll be using the frequency F1 at different times. By looking on this particular section of the diagram, we can see at T0 frequency F1 is used for downlink. At T1 time, the same F1 frequency is used for uplink. At time 2, the same frequency is used for downlink again, and at time 3, this frequency F1 is used for uplink. So we have only one frequency, and this frequency is shared between uplink and downlink at different times. The third duplex mode which is available in the 5G is SDL. So SDL is supplement downlink. So in SDL there will be one frequency and that will be always used for the downlink. So SDL is basically used to increase the downlink capacity. Then the fourth duplex mode supported in the 5G is SUL. So SUL is supplement uplink, where the frequency is used for uplink transmission. Five G frequency band classification. 5G NR operates in FDD, which is a paired spectrum, and TDD, which is an unpaired spectrum, similar to the LTE. The 3GP release 38.104 listed all the bands which can be used for the 5G. The NR has introduced a new notation mechanism for the frequency bands. We start with the N. For example, the band 5 is noted as N5 in 5G, whereas in 4G it was noted as B5. So from B2 it becomes N. So NR bands can be classified into three categories. The very first category is the FDD bands, which we can say the paired bands. We say these bands pair band because we get frequency location in pair, means one frequency for downlink and second frequency for uplink. The second category for 5G bands is TDD bands, or we can say time duplexing bands. And the third category for NR band is supplementary bands. The supplementary bands which are used for the capacity purpose. The supplementary bands are further classified based on the direction, whether those supplementary bands are used for downlink or uplink. The bands which support the downlink are known as supplementary downlink bands, or say SDL, and the bands which can be used for uplink are known as supplementary uplink bands, or we can say SUL. So SDL bands are used for increasing the downlink capacity, and SUL bands are used for increasing the uplink capacity. In this slide, we have noted some sample bands for the 5G. We can see the FR1 band and FR2 bands. So FR1 bands, we can see N1, N3, N20, N38, N41, N51. There are some are newly introduced frequency bands and some are used from legacy technologies. For example, the LTE band 3, which is B3, reformed here with N3, and the frequency range is also the same. In FR2, the frequency band numbering start from higher order. For example, the frequency band number 257 or frequency band number 258 or 260. These frequency bands are in millimeter waves. We have also noted here the duplex mode for the bands. If we see the FR1 duplexing, they support FDD, TDD, supplementary downlink, supplementary uplink. But if we look into FR2, they only support TDD. In the same statement we gave in the previous slides. Frequency channel bandwidth. So frequency channel bandwidth defines how a band can be used with the maximum channel bandwidth. We discussed that frequency range 1, which is FR1, can have maximum bandwidth of 100 MHz and FR2 can have maximum bandwidth of 400 MHz. Within FR1, 3GPP has defined that channel bandwidth can be starting from 5 MHz and it can go up to maximum 100 MHz. One thing to be noted here that the 5G does not support lower channel bandwidth which are specified in LTE. So LTE was able to support 1.4 as well as 3 MHz channel bandwidth. But 5G channel bandwidth start from minimum from 5 MHz. For FR2, the minimum channel bandwidth can be 50 and it can go up to 400 MHz. There is some availability of larger bandwidth in the FR2, say for example 800 MHz. If any operator which is allocated 800 MHz bandwidth, so he cannot use 800 MHz as a channel bandwidth. What he has to do is he has to split this channel bandwidth into two carrier elements and then he can use that 800 MHz as carrier aggregation by using 400 MHz bandwidth with the two carrier components. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you like it. Please like this video and subscribe our channel for the upcoming information on the 5G. Thanks for your time.